to the Grown Up Group. This is a podcast of regular people tackling the world from a Black perspective. My name is Ty. I'm here with Kira, Joe, and our feature today is Teauna. We see since pre-pandemic that Black businesses have been soaring and have been opening up, and we wanted to delve into this conversation and discuss. I have some statistics from Fortune 500 that goes into a little bit deeper statistics on why this is the case, and I'd love to give you that. But first, we want to go into some questions. We have a business owner here from Honorable Credit, and she's going to give us her perspective on why she got started. So we'll start with the first question. Could you tell us about you?
My name is Teauna. I've been an entrepreneur for over 20 years. I also work full-time in finance, which helps balance the entrepreneurship as well as a full-time job. I started Honorable Credit. I used to register my own LLCs and register myself with the state. And I had a friend of mine who delved into several businesses. So I used to do it for him all the time. So that's how I created my business. I started extending that invitation.
Can you tell us a little bit about your services?
I help entrepreneurs who want to be entrepreneurs like me register their business with the state. I also help them build business credit. And if they're in the trucking industry, I apply for the MC/DOT authority applications for them. I also complete the BOC3 form, which is required by the state, and the UCR form so that they're able to get approved for their authority.
Okay. So what inspired you to start your own business?
I saw that there was a lack of entrepreneurship in the Black and Brown community. We would see businesses go up and then we would see them be the first ones to come down. So what I wanted to do was meet the demand of people who wanted to get into entrepreneurship, but maybe didn't know how. So I started mentoring and, encouraging people to start their own businesses, no matter what it was, whether it was nursing, you want to open a shoe shop, regardless as to what it entails, you can start you a business in whatever industry. Wanted to provide mentorship as well.
So your services is basically opening up other or assisting other Black businesses to open, setting up their registering their business in addition to helping their credit score. Is that what it is? Their business credit?
Their business credit, helping them to establish business credit so that they can apply for funding. Also, structure your business is very important. There are keywords that are red flags for financing, for funding, for banking. If your business has certain words in the title of the, company, you will automatically be defaulted to a no. So it's very important to educate individuals. That's why there's the mentorship, because I recommend that, hey, maybe you don't want to use trucking in your the business name, or maybe something that's harder to qualify for funding.
All right. Thank you very much for that detailed explanation about your business and your brand and your services that you offer. Can you please tell me what problem are you solving with your product? I know you delved a little bit into your product and services and how it helps to educate, business owners and people that are setting up their entrepreneurship, but why hire you? I guess that's what I'm trying to get down to. Why would we need to call Teauna from Honorable Credit to say, proceed with the following? How would we even know that?
Because, well, first of all, most of my clients are referrals from other people that I've worked with. So they say referrals are the highest form of flattery, right? So when I register, it's not anybody can open up a laptop and register your business with the state, but it's the education of it all. It's not just you acquiring a name for your business and me registering with the state. It's also the handholding, the educating you, the encouragement that I provide for my clients. And that's why I feel like that I would be, the best person to go to. Not just that, but the mentorship. I do amazing things with it. And I've seen others who just have an LLC. My others to get an LLC, but do something with it. Make an income. You don't have to work a 9-to-5 if you don't want to. Let that business work for you. I encourage to the Brown, the Latino, the Latina community. I really, really have a soft heart for them. Particularly, we have to work twice as hard to acquire anything in the United States. So it's my goal to educate as many people as I possibly can.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for that. I'm going to move the segment along with Kira to follow up on the following questions.
My first question is, how does your product and services affect the Black community?
Well, it affects them because now there's more entrepreneurs in the Black community. I've seen a multiple, whether it's a laundromat, open up services, open up a building. I've done real estate. I've seen people who flip houses wholesale due to that. So now jobs for other people, because then you need people to manage that real estate, or you need people to manage that laundromat. We're creating jobs. And so that is how I am paying back to the community, by not just mentoring and educating, but also creating jobs. So it's giving back to the community in retrospect.
Oh my. So my next question is, what have been the biggest challenges that you've faced so far?
The biggest challenges that I faced, I would say, is keeping continued clientele. You have to advertise yourself. You have to get your name out there. You have to constantly be looking for an opportunity to speak about your business and what you offer, what you bring to the table. It's not just that, but because I work with a lot of clients over the phone, when they do refer me, I have to convince people to send me money for a service, and they've never met me. So that in itself is one of the most difficult things, because you have to do a lot of talking.
Right.
But fortunately, I've been blessed with the gift of gab. And I think too, when I explain the broadness of what I am offering to them, they can't deny that they would like to be, on a winning team, or at least in a position where they're able to move forward with their business.
So my last question is, what advice would you give to someone who is thinking about starting their own business? Because, so a lot of people, they want to start the business, but they don't have the knowledge, like you already explained, the knowledge and the backup for to start the business.
Yeah. I would say do it. Anything worth having is, you have to work hard for it, number one. A lot of times people don't want to put the money out. They don't want to spend the amount of money to get their business registered or to take that chance. Sometimes there's also fear.
Right.
We have an integrated fear of being successful. And it's like, what if it don't work out? Well, what if it do? What if it do work out? And what if you could be a multimillionaire in a year? Or even if you're making more money than where you started at, that's an upgrade in itself. So I think fear is a major factor, but I would encourage anybody to do it. Even me, myself, as an entrepreneur, I was very, very scared to step out and put myself out there.
Right.
You think about do I know enough? Am I able to really persuade people to invest in me and to, work with me? You doubt yourself sometimes, because we are a product of our environment, and so sometimes it makes it difficult for you to take that leap of faith. So, but I tell anybody who has doubt, who's scared, who's afraid, who is skeptical, and then sometimes your family get in your ear and say, that don't make sense. And then you shoot the whole idea down. And I say, tune everybody out and go for what you want to do. Because they're saying, what if it don't, but what if it do? You want to know, let's try. Right. So, the advice that I would give is to give it a shot. You only fail if you didn't try.
Right. Oh, wow. Well, thank you for that advice.
You're welcome.
I'm done with my questions now, but pass the torch to Joe.
Right, exactly, Joe.
Right.
Listen, that's what I was always taught.
Yeah, exactly.
If you don't take a shot, there's no way you can make it. And then it's
Yeah.
quite simple. But for me, my thing is with you and your business now, do you see yourself in the position, let's just say 3, 4, 5 years from now? Do you see yourself where you're no longer at a point where you're like, you know what? I'm not doing no 9 to 5, none of that. I got my own name. I got my own brand. I have my own building. I have my own space. Is that where you see yourself in the next 3 to 5 years?
Absolutely. That is definitely where I see myself. I see myself doing this on a larger scale, full-time is the only way to be. Right now, I minimize because I have a 9 to 5. So
Right.
I work a 9 to 5 and then I come home and I delve right into the business credit, the clients that I currently have. And I work until sometimes 11 p.m. So I get home around 5:30 and then I work until 11, sometimes later than that. Depending on how many clients I have. But my goal is to be able to get rid of the full-time job and focus on completely on entrepreneurship and mentorship and education for business credit.
Right. Now, just, listening to you for the past few minutes, I see you have a handle on what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, your thing.
Right.
You know your shit.
Right.
Basically.
Right.
Put it like that. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
in order to get to that point in 5 years, like, how do you get there? What is it that you think or that you need to do to get there? Because from listening to you, I know you know what you need to do.
Right.
But just tell us that don't.
Well, first of all, lots of sacrifice, a lot of sacrifice.
Right.
There are times where I'm exhausted. I've had a rough
Mm-hmm.
day from a full-time job and I have to sacrifice. Sometimes I sacrifice sleep. Sometimes I sacrifice eating. And at some point, I'm just going to have to take a leap of faith and believe in myself and just walk from that full-time job and say that I have the means to be able to do it on my own now. I don't need the 9 to 5 to sustain my bills. I can utilize my entrepreneurship to maintain my bills if I focus on it full time.
Oh, damn. Now, this is the most important question that I need to ask you. Now, we got a lot of people out there that's looking at you and saying, wow, this is a resource that I needed to start my trucking, my food cart, or whatever it is they wanted to do.
Right.
Okay. But they just didn't have you as a resource. Now that they know you're out there, how do they get a hold of you? How do they find you?
I have a website. It's honorable-credit.com. I also on Instagram, it's honorable_credit_New Jersey. You can find me on IG or you can check out my website. You can also email me at honorablecredit@gmail.com. That's the best way to get in touch.
The blood is coming.
Yeah.
Blood is coming.
I mean, all of that good advice. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because it definitely is. I specifically was not taught to want to have my own businesses. My mother embedded in me that it was better to work for a man because it was guaranteed, check was signed and it would clear, And so when I started to delve into my own entrepreneurship, I got doubt. Doubt from family members galore. My mother was like, is that going to pay the bills? I have children. So is that going to provide for them? And so it set this little, and I speak from experience because that was me. It did seep a little bit of doubt. Like, do I have what it takes to do this? And it's funny because not only was I able to do it, but I got to the point where my mother was considering, going back into the work field. She's retired. And I retired her. I send her an allowance every month so that she don't have to go out into the work field. And that's why I have to keep pushing myself. That is my motivation, my family, and getting them in a position where they're better because of the things that I'm doing makes me proud.
Yeah.
It's a heavy cross to bear because family recognizes that you are hustling and so they want in on it. So you also have to protect yourself because it's almost like a vulture mentality. Everybody didn't think you can do it, but now that you're showing them you can do it, everybody wants a piece of the pie. And so you have to you got to kind of protect yourself, It went from doubt to reliance, is that now they rely on you, and anytime there's a financial problem, they come to you and hope you can help them. So, you just have to be prepared for your successes because everybody is going to want to take credit for that. The failures, they don't want any credit for your
failures.
Nobody
wants to be a part of your failures. No.
It's like this, but
absolutely not. Nobody wants to be a part of that. They just want to see when you get there, when you get to that mountaintop, they just want to be up there with you. Like, yeah, remember
Right.
when I helped you get up here? No, I don't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
You know?
It's always
Exactly, exactly.
remember when I.
Right.
Yeah, oh
Exactly,
yeah.
exactly. Exactly.
Remember that time? No, 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 I don't.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
totally
You
forget.
So, according to Fortune, the rate of Black business ownership in the United States rose 38% from pre-pandemic levels. So that told me before pandemic, we were ahead of the government shutting down. We were already in the mindset of forging our own and creating our own revenue stream. And it's crazy because, I saw one Instagram post and then I saw 900 Instagram posts, and now it seems like I can't turn without a Black ownership, selling something. But I do know that's what
know?
I look for. I do look to support Black ownerships. And let me just give you guys a little bit further statistics on that. There are 3.12 million Black owned businesses in the US right now. They're generating more than 206 billion in annual revenue and supporting
Mm-hmm.
3.56 million in US jobs.
Mm-hmm.
That's
It's
that right
it's
there,
absolutely
It is.
volumes. Speaks in volumes. In
Right.
August, I don't even know if you guys know this. August has been designated as National Black Business Month. Did you guys know that?
Ooh,
Had
did
no
not know that.
idea.
There you go.
you know what's funny? I just heard that on on Fox News. Was it?
All places.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's just something funny I wanted to touch on. And this is a conversation I had with a buddy of mine, a good friend of mine, regarding Black businesses. So, and he asked me one day, he said, and he came up with this scenario, and it was really interesting. We actually sat back here and had like almost an hour debate about it. He said, okay, let me ask you a question. Let's say you have a main street in whatever town you live in. On one side of the street, you have a soul food restaurant. Right across the street, you have another soul food restaurant. The one on the right side of the street is owned by an African American gentleman whose mother and grandmother taught him how to cook soul food. And on the opposite side of the street, you have one, it's owned by a white gentleman who grew up in the rural South, raised on soul food.
Mm.
Now, he said, here's the quandary. You go to both restaurants and you find, as a Black man, that the guy who sells the white soul food restaurant, it's phenomenal. It's outstanding. The fried chicken, the mac and cheese, the collard greens, the oxtails, it's phenomenal. Go across the street to the Black guy's restaurant, it's good. It's not disgusting, it's not bad, but it's good. So as a Black man, he said, which one do you patronize? So I put that to the three of y'all.
The Black owned business, even though it's mediocre.
Really? Kira, what do you say?
I
See?
mean, I'm gonna go to the Black people because I gotta support my Black people.
Your immediate
But then the
response didn't tell us that. Your immediate response was like, white man on across the street.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm going
Mhm.
to the white man across the street.
But see,
I'm
but I only said the Black guy because I know my likeness. So I know that brother probably putting his foot in that food too. It's just
and
not
that's
to the
why
standard of the white man. So I would support the brother. Like hopefully
But
is better than what
okay,
they
so
say. It's better than what they say, I hope.
I would do the
right.
same if I was blindfolded and they put both plates in front of me and I ate the food and I like one better than the other. Like Joe said, the white man's food was good. You know what I mean? Maybe good to you. It might not be good to me, but if you blindfolded me and I ate both of them, not knowing who made what, and one was good, that's where I'm gonna frequent because that's where I'm putting my money into,
Right.
And
Exactly.
anything that's good, you want to invest in something that's good,
Right.
That's true.
Right.
So
I'm
that
not
was
gonna
gonna be my
spend my money to throw the food in the trash.
right.
Right. And see, and
No,
that's
I'ma still eat, but I'm
why
just
the
gonna
debate
season
him
it.
and I had lasted an hour. That's why the debate we had last, because I said, well, listen, no one gives me money. I earn
Yeah,
it. You know what I mean? So when I spend it, I'm spending what I worked hard for.
right.
So if I'm going to spend my money on something, I want it to be the best thing I can spend my money on.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So if my white guy is making the food and it's blowing my mind, I'm going there.
Right.
Right.
That's where I'm going. Now, I'm not going to go there. I'm going to try my man across the street because everybody's palate is different.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. That's
I'm
why I
going to
said
try my man across the street too. But if my man over here, if
Right.
my pale skinned brother is doing it up like grandma used to do, I'm going to see him.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
You know,
Absolutely.
why
yeah.
can't I
So
buy
that
from both? Why can't I support both? Why can't I know?
no,
Well, and then another thing I have a question for. Is his food, the brother food, cheaper because he knows less quality? Like
Oh, I'm
that's what I
sorry.
got
I left
questions.
that out.
I got questions.
Points are the same.
The price is the
Oh,
same?
Points are the same. Yes. That's the part I left out. Apologies. The prices are the same.
yeah, I
Yeah,
think I
that's a hard.
definitely go where the food
That's
was
a hard
good.
one.
I mean, like
After I
you
Mhm.
try it
said,
myself, though. After I try it myself, then I would.
yeah.
right,
Right.
Because what's good
right.
to
So
some is
that
not
would be
good to all, you
Right.
know?
Right.
right. So
Yeah.
that was my explanation. I mean, I'm just automatically going to go to the Black person first because
Right.
I'm thinking
Right.
like, okay, they from the South, they Black. My mama, my grandmama, I know the way they Black
Sure.
selling cook. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to him first. But then if his ain't good and I'm gonna go to here, then next time I'm
Yeah.
going over there to the white.
Ty and I actually had that experience. It was a spot that was a barbecue spot, and it had like, you know, peach cobbler and ribs and all of this. And we ordered a plethora of things because we couldn't pinpoint what exactly we wanted. We got wings, we got ribs, just a variety of stuff.
Right.
And we got that food, and it was the nastiest thing you ever
Trash.
tasted. We didn't even
Straight
eat
trash.
anything. There was
Mm.
things, seasonings in it, like syrup and collard greens. I had never in my life, like I've never had sweet collard greens in my life. And there was some sugary something in the collard greens.
Oh dear,
The
dear, dear.
potato salad had big red potato chunks in it, no egg, just mayonnaise and potatoes. And it was like, we were so disappointed. And when you spend that kind of money and you're like, I have never ordered from them again because you get one time with me. And
$78 wasted.
and
$78.
Yeah.
we had the food delivered, so we have no idea who owns the establishment. We don't know if it's
Right.
white owned, black owned mixture, but we
Right.
took a chance on them and they
Mhm.
failed. So they don't ever, and they're
Failed
right around the corner
miserably.
from me. So, but yeah, I would never frequent them again.
Yeah.
But
I agree.
Yeah.
one
I
of the
agree.
things that I find difficult being an entrepreneur is when people ask for discounts. You know,
Oh,
it's like you my sis, you my bro, you know, can I get a
No,
discount?
no.
The price is the price because you're
Right.
not going to go to the white man and ask him for a discount. When you go buy your Louis purse, you're not going to
You
ask
don't
him
ask him for
to
a
give
discount.
you in your
Right.
Chanel purse. You're not going to ask them for a discount because it's high quality. And that's how I feel about my services. It's an insult when you ask someone, can I get the family discount? Because one, I'm not
No.
your family, and two, this is a business. I am running an official business and there is no family discount. And if there is, I do allow referral discounts. If you send someone to me, Joe, Kira, Ty, I would give them a $50 off, or, you know, depending on how many people you have recommended to me, I may work
Right.
with them, but there is no such thing as asking an entrepreneur for a discount. This is my livelihood. And I
Right.
take it very seriously. And it is an insult.
right.
No, it definitely is. And think about
Yeah.
it. Like if you're and especially if you're in a business where, let's just say, like someplace where you have to deal with a wholesaler. Okay, how am I going to give you a discount? Now, when I got to go re-up, the person that I go see, she's not going to give me a discount to buy what I
Right.
got to sell to you.
Right.
Absolutely
So why
not.
am I giving
Right.
you a discount? Yeah.
I want to delve deep into the statistics. 37% of Black business owners are women. Did you guys know that? 37%. 33% of Black business owners start businesses because they want to be their own bosses, which I applaud
Right.
that because, you know, going to a job 9 to 5 to make somebody else money, not on my top radar, not a favorite thing of mine, but that's what happens. I've done it for the last 20 years of my life. I wish I could get those millions back and do it on my own. 44% of Black business owners use their own cash to start their venture, and compared to 37% of all small business owners, that's huge. So that tells me 44% of them are reaching into their own wallet and using their own money. Why do you guys think that is?
I'm not surprised by any of those statistics.
Let me
Not at
give you
all.
the reason why
The
that
only
is.
one I'm surprised at is when we said, was it 37% of Black-owned businesses are by women?
Yes.
Quite honestly, I wouldn't even be surprised if that were a few points higher.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised. I would not
I
be
would I
surprised.
wouldn't be surprised either. This statistic is from
Right.
2023. I do want to go further into the statistics because some of this stuff blew my mind. A lot of that 44% of Black owned business use their own cash solely because 57% of Black business owners express concern about credit availability, and that goes right into your services right there.
Right.
40% believe they will never have equal access to that credit. 40%. And then only 18% of Black business owners report receiving assistance from loan officers in completing a business loan application. So, on how low that number is. Out of that 57% that has that concern about credit availability, only 18% get approved. That's crazy to me. That's such a low number.
And
So that's why
a lot
your
of
Very.
things
services are
that
needed.
a lot of things that our Black and brown people don't know about it also is that there's a certificate you could receive. I am a licensed woman minority owned business with the
Mhm.
state. And so when I handle my Black and brown and Latino and Latina clients, I always make sure when it comes to the business side that they are structured as a minority owned business, a woman minority owned business. There are several options for us. A lot of people don't know that. They think it's just a click of a button, but when you are well skilled, you know what you're doing, you make sure that they get the full entire scope. When you're building a business package, when I quote you a price, that big business package entails you getting a NAV account. It entails you getting a DUNS number. It entails you, to build up creditors and vendors. They say net 30 vendors are dead. They are not dead. They are alive and well. They just require a lot more memberships now than they did before because they're on to us. They were free memberships now, but they saw the magnitude of people that were applying for business credit and not paying for it. So if you see the demand is there, they were smart. They turned around and said, okay, you can sign up and use me and I'll report to the credit bureaus. However, you're going to pay a small membership fee and we're going to bill you every month to maintain that membership. So,
You gave me
it's
two
just not.
I'm sorry. You gave me two abbreviations. I want you to explain to the viewers what DUNS mean and what NADS mean because viewers may not know what Dun and Bradstreet credit score means for
Well,
businesses.
it's a 9-digit Dun and Bradstreet number. It's an identifier to your business. When you apply for a funding, crediting, having your DUNS number helps you because it lets them know that your business is official. NAV is the business credit scoring system. So anytime you build business credit, it reflects just like Equifax, Experian, and your FICO. It reports any credit to NAV, and then you can gauge your business credit scores through nav.com. So those are the programs that I utilize to kind of give me an idea as to where you need to be, where you are, where you need to be, and where I need to get you to in order to qualify for funding. So
Thank you. Thank you
that's
for
what
that
DUNS
explanation.
and NAV is.
Yeah. Okay.
You're
I just
welcome.
wanted to make sure I gave you them that broad knowledge over there. So I do want to say thank you. It's been tremendous. I just want to ask you one last question. Is there
Sure.
anything else that you want to tell us about your business?
I think I've said it all. You know, I just want to encourage people to take risks on themselves. A lot of people don't want to spend the money. Spend the money. It's worth it because it benefits you in the long run. As long as once you receive that certificate of formation, don't just receive that in the EIN letter. Go to the bank, open you up a bank account, whatever funding you can acquire, whatever funds you bring in, deposit those into your account to show revenue going into your bank account. I just want to encourage people to take a chance on themselves because if you don't, who will? I wanted to ask Joe and Kira a question. If you could start your own business, what would it be?
I would start a laundromat. I mean, we need clean clothes. That was one of my things ever since I was little. I always wanted to start a laundromat because not everyone has a wash and dry in their home. Not everyone could afford a wash and dry in their home. They have to have clean clothes. So I would start a laundromat business.
Can I give
Low
you some advice
overhead.
on?
I feel like a laundromat is guaranteed to make money because, like I said, everyone needs clean clothes.
Right. And so if I could give you some advice on that,
Yes, ma'am.
do it. Not only do it, but start off small. This is what you
Right.
do.
Uh-huh.
You do a pick up and drop off service. You already have a car. All you would need to get is a scale. You don't have,
Uh-huh.
you get a
I
scale.
don't have a car.
Yeah, if you know somebody with a car,
Uh-huh.
you can ride with your friend, your girlfriend, your cousin, sister, somebody.
Mhm.
Register that business first.
Right.
And then get you somebody with a car, get you a scale. What I'll do,
Uh-huh.
I could set you with a 30-day vendor who you can purchase a scale from, a weight
Uh-huh.
scale. And what you do is start off small, and the funds that you make from the pickup and drop off service, you put it to
Uh-huh.
the side so that you can save it up to buy the building or rent a building, and then you buy up the block. And then that creates jobs for other people. And you start
Right.
small. Sometimes we think, oh, we got to go and buy this building to start the laundromat. Start
Right.
small. Start small. And that's one surefire way. People are looking to, especially with COVID, if it taught you anything, people definitely were looking for laundry services who didn't have washer and dryers in their home.
Right.
I was one of them, sending my laundry out to get washed because I was
Right.
working 14-hour days, sometimes longer. So I would say do it. There, no matter how many laundromats there are, there's always a demand for laundry services.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you
you
for
can
that
start out
advice.
there. You are welcome. You're very welcome. And Joe, what about you? What would you do?
You know what's funny? And I've been thinking about this since I retired.
Mhm.
Like for the past 4 years. A barbecue food truck. That is something I've really been looking into getting started on.
Well, Joe, I'll give you some advice. First, register that LLC.
hmm
Make sure it's legitimately done. Get that EIN number. Then what I can do is I have a wholesaler that I can connect you with who sells items wholesale, where you can do a barbecue food truck. He also can set you up with a truck sale. He has trucks from $5,000 to $35,000. It varies, but I can connect you with someone who's in the business who sells trucks. So there is no reason as African American people that we can't pass it forward. We
Right.
can't spread it forward
Absolutely.
because knowledge is key. And I'm not trying to keep it to myself. I'll sing it to the high heavens if I have to, because I want to make sure we're all on. And I already has her business, so I didn't add her to the mix. But with you guys too, it's a very simple process, to get things started. So if you want to, do it.
Oh, absolutely. But and the best thing about this is that, one thing that I think our black and brown people are lacking when it comes to starting a business is that was the one thing, resource,
Right.
a
Right.
resource. And I think from this segment alone, you've proven that you are a very valuable resource that a lot of people in our community probably don't know about.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
agree.
And I think, if more people had access and resources, I think that what is it? We're now like 8.6% of the business world in all of
Right.
this country. If black and brown people knew about the resources available, we can double or triple that in years to come.
Right,
Absolutely. I
exactly.
agree.
Because
Yeah.
like I said, I'm not just a business. I'm not just an entrepreneur. I'm a mentor. I'm a teacher. I'm an educator.
Right.
I am an encourager. I will be your biggest cheerleader. I love to see my people succeed, and I will do whatever I can. And if I don't know, the one thing about me, I will find out. If I'm not certain about something, I will, and Ty knows this, I will Google things to all eternity until I'm familiar with it. A lot of these things that I'm doing now, I didn't know. I learned, I trained myself, I taught myself. I didn't know how to do MCDOT authority applications, but I watched YouTube videos. I stayed up in the middle of the night and learned how to do it and kept doing it until I was able to do it, professionally. So these things didn't come to me overnight, and things like times are changing. You have to shift with the time. So I have to keep educating myself and learning new information. And at 49 years old, it's not as simple as it was 20 years ago. I gotta read things a couple of times.
Listen, we all do.
Put my glasses on so I can see what I'm talking about. But
listen, we all do.
Your advice is so informative. Especially I'm hoping that the younger generation watch this, because instead of them spending their money on material things, right here, you can get your own business started. I mean, if you want to become, if they want to become rich so fast, then they just want to.
Make it official.
Right. Make it official and make it legal and.
Absolutely. You know what? I have two adult sons right now. They're 28 and 26. But the first thing that I gave them the minute Kyle was 16, I gave him his LLC on his 16th birthday. And he was out here mowing lawns legally and, shoveling and all of that with his business entity, And so I encourage it. Even with my cousin recently, his daughter was turning 16 and I said, buy an LLC, get her, a nail shop or a beauty shop or something along those lines so that she can grow into something. We want we want to break the cycle. We were taught that entrepreneurship is taboo. It's not taboo. It's nothing better than being your own boss. Takes a lot of discipline, but you can do it. You just have to be determined to make it successful. But I definitely did that with my generations, and until they got to the point where they were able to find their own craft and decide what they wanted to do with their lives. But that's what they did in the interim.
Well, I thank you. I thank you very much for joining, the grown-up group to discuss, Black business and entrepreneurship. It's really a big thing. We want to be supportive of our Black businesses out there. You're one way of doing so. I'm also going to list at the end of this segment a list of supporting Black businesses that in our local area right now. I'm in New Jersey, so you'll be able to, just at a click of a button or a website to just go click and check them out. I'm also going to include my business service out there. I also delve into a little bit of the real estate things and researching titles. If you're purchasing a home, I do this whole report of what your compliance work should be. Don't purchase that home without sign that contract until you know you got a house inspection and what's needed on it. I'm there for that. So feel free to reach out to me. You'll see my actual email address up there as well. It's regalcompliancellc@gmail.com. You'll get to see a little bit of what I do in the report samples that I create. But definitely support your Black businesses. We're out there strong numbers. We're building and we're hoping to build our own empires and be able to cash our own checks. And not only that, hire our own staff. So a lot of that staffing is through us as well. Hire our own people. And it makes sense. It does. It really does. It seems like it's coming a whole, 360, I want to say, for our Black business owners. And I applaud that tremendously. So thank you guys for joining the Grown Up Group for this discussion. It's a very important discussion that needed to be had. Please like, share, and subscribe. We appreciate you for your viewership. Thank you. Bye.